Okay, folks, this is what the dandelions look like when you hang them to get dried. And I put them in here when I chop them up into this thing. Just hang them for some reason over here real quick. And I just gonna shred them up, maybe throw them in this bowl, get them off of this hanger, and then stuff them in here. Okay, gonna grab one here. Off of there. One at a time. Put the road over here. Put this camera here for a second. All right. Just take it like that. This damn. And we're going to just try not to make a damn mess because I just swept everything. And that's all you do. I usually keep a lot of these dried and stored in a paper bag like I did in videos before, and you can have it for a lot of the winter if you like have a lot of dandelions growing around. You make a salad and what you do is just hang a whole bunch of them, dry them out, put them in a paper bag, and like I showed you in one of my other videos before, got a shitload stored. It almost looks like drugs in a distance, but what I'm pretty much doing is capping this off. I gotta stuff the rest of that in there. Cap this off. I'll put something down there to weight it down. Then I just turn it on. Nope, not yet. I just had some other water in there that was previously heated. I put all new cold water in there, but if the metal is still hot to the touch, the sensor don't work, so I gotta wait a while for this to cool, because if the red light is on, it won't percolate. So I'm just gonna weight this down. I'm gonna put an object on there, weight it down, and there you go. It's not hard to do. I like to get products like this. I got this used for next to nothing. Nobody wanted it. Cafeteria grade, restaurant grade. You can look up West Bend online on Amazon.com, eBay, all kind of places. I noticed how these kind of got would plug into the wall were hard to get, just electric. Now anymore, they got the ones that I like. The one I like to fill up with water like this. Now online, I'm seeing mostly nothing but the ones that you kind of connect them to a hose to the wall and all that. Like one of the workplaces I worked for had that. And I'm looking for one of these to buy, to actually want to. I like it enough to want to buy another one real cheap online, but I'm not always finding them. You know what I mean? So I got this from an actual thrift store in my area, but I love this thing. Percolates nice and hot. Preparing this for the next pot. I'll wait for that to cool down so I can start it up. And this is just an ugly ass root on here. I'm gonna throw in the damn garbage. What I do is you got roots that ain't really of good substantial size. I consume the roots once in a while, but for the most part, I try to pick the things out of the ground, roots and all, knock all the dirt off, because so you have something to hang by, so you can get it on a coat hanger. You know what I'm saying? If you want, not to get the pick them after the rain, but if anything else, beat off and the beat the roots off and wash off the root end. If you don't want to get them sopping wet, but for the most part, try to get all that dirt off of there in that root area if you can. Something to hang it by, I mean, that's more important. You don't got to use every root. I like something to be able to hang it on coat hangers. That's my method, and I don't see anybody else in YouTube drying theirs in this manner. It's a lot easier. Hang them up in a closet or on something, and then they just dry up and get nice and crisp, and then shove them into here. This is a little tight, just weight it down a little bit, but there it's going. You hear that? Now when that red light comes on and it's done, and what I do is I'll let it cool and just run it through again. Of course I'll have a cup of it, but then I'll run the shit through again, to make the most of it. And put some of this in, make the other batch. Usually I have friends I supply with some of this tea. I give them some. But here we go. I'm gonna flick that off. Just weight it on here to slip it down. I'm gonna let it cool, of course, and then cycle it through again, but I usually cycle it through twice. Show you guys. This looks like, I put it in here for now, but I'm gonna have some in my cup. Just a little sample here and show you. It gets darker when you cycle it through again, but okay, what I'm doing, adding some more. I'm putting these right on top of the ones I already percolated. I see underneath, these were the ones that I just started the video before I showed you, but since they are already percolated, there's room. I was able to shove them down. I'm going to put a little bit more of these in here and then start it up again when it cools. Then that'll make it darker. See, when you first stick your first bunch in it, you need to weight the top of the lid down. It's all poofy. Cycle it through, right? And then you can squeeze it down because the heat made it all like submerged in water there, in hot water. Smush it down. Add some more down there. Then cycle it through again and it'll get darker. Alright, I got all that shoved in there. Shredded it all up and shoved it in there. I got that weighted down. Gotta let this cool like a little while. Put it through again, cycle it through again, and it'll get darker, which I'll show you after it gets darker. You can have a cup of it, but I just showed you there. You can drink it that way. It's alright, but I like it a little stronger. Because I didn't entirely fill this up. I filled it up like maybe like 3/4 of the way. But that's a lot of water compared to the dandelions. And you add some more, it's going to get stronger, and then you can even run it through even like a third time. Or like if you don't like it that strong. Actually, don't look like it, but if you taste that without sugar, it's pretty strong and it's extremely good for you. But I like to put it through 2, sometimes 3 times, or if I bottle it up and send it to some friends. Just like using tea bags twice, or you do the same thing with the mint. You actually will put it through and you'll get some color to the water and you're still actually getting tea. But I like to make mine good and strong, especially dandelions. It'll actually makes you feel a lot better too. Stuff's extremely good for you. Okay. Cycled it through the second time when I put more dandelions in. Flick that off. This here I had it weighted down because it was poofy. Damn it! First amount of stuff I was too poofy, but then I put the rest in. And we're gonna see here. See, look at that, now the color is darker. Look at that, look how much darker that is now. See, I put the second amount in there. There wasn't enough room the first time. Put the water through and it got saturated there, and I was able to stuff the second amount weighted down. And if you want to, you can take out the other stuff and get rid of it and then put all new in. If you want a darker brew, I do that with the mint too. You can put it through once or twice. Dump it out. Dump the used greens out and put some new greens in and cycle through that same. But there you have it. That's what it looks like. I'll drink it without sugar. You can drink it with sugar. You can add sage and clove to the mixture like I do sometimes, but usually make a lot of this. I'll send a couple bottles to some friends that the stuff helps them with some things, but that's how you do it. I'm gonna have some of this now, but I'll let this cool and I'm gonna cycle it through maybe one more time, or oh hell, I'll probably just fill a pitcher up. You know what? In fact, I think that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and, you know what, then I'll cycle it through one more time. I'll be able to make a second pitcher to put in the fridge. Second pitcher I make might be a little weaker. What I do is fill this pitcher up, put some fresh water in, then make myself another pitcher, and then throw the greens away. The second pitcher might be a little weaker, but plenty of this tea for free. I like to use it more than once because pretty good bit of work actually gathering and then sorting these things out and preparing it. No sense using it only once and then throwing it away, you know what I mean? Look at that. I use as little or no sugar as possible, but if you want to put sugar in it, put it in while it's still hot, because then that way it dissolves, but put a little bit more in there. And there's still going to be some in there. It's a lot. Oh yeah, that's damn near all of it. It's light there, lightweight. So there you have it. I'm going to add another bunch of water in here and fill this thing up. You get the idea. I'll make myself, and I'll usually fill this thing up too. I'll fill a couple Mountain Dew bottles or milk jugs or whatever I can find and send some to friends. That's how I do it. Probably drink this like this or put some in my coffee cup and that'll be it. Figure I'll make an updated video with more detail, so there it is.